Hello children, are you all staying safe at home? Okay, today we are going to learn physics, unit 1, laws of motion, part 3, gravitation. The contents of this gravitation. This is the last part of this lesson 1. The contents are Newton's universal law of gravitation, acceleration due to gravity, relation between G and G, mass of the earth, variation of acceleration due to gravity, difference between mass and weight, apparent weight and weightlessness, application of Newton's law of gravitation. The law of gravity. What do you mean by gravity? Before the 17th century, scientists believed that objects fell on the earth due to their inherent property of matter. Galileo made a systematic study of freely falling objects. But Isaac Newton calculated the centripetal acceleration of objects by assuming Moon's orbit to be circular. Isaac Newton assumed that all the objects are accelerated towards the center of the earth, but their motions differ because of their tangential velocities. Isaac Newton suggested that gravitational force might vary inversely as the square of the distance between the bodies. He realized that this force of attraction was a case of universal attraction between any two bodies present anywhere in the universe and proposed universal gravitational law, that is law of gravity. So in this law of gravity, every mass of an object exerts a force of attraction on every other mass. Every mass of an object exerts a force of attraction on every other mass. So the mathematical expression is F is equal to Gm m dash by r square, where G, capital G, is referred as universal gravitational constant, whose value is given as 6.67 into 10 to the power minus 11 Newton meter square per kilogram square. Newton's universal law of gravitation. The law states that every object in the universe attracts every other object with a force. This force is directed along the line of centers for the two objects, that is proportional to the product of their masses and inversely proportional to the square of the separation between the two objects. Can you see a small diagram, children, in the picture? There is a small diagram. There are two objects. You can take it as A and B. So we can say that the mass of object A is m1, mass of object B is m2. They are separated by a distance r. So the force between the masses is always attractive. The force between the masses is always attractive, and it does not depend on the medium where they are placed. Now what is m1? Mass of first object. m2 is the mass of the second object. They are separated by a distance r. So by definition, the force, the gravitational force, is directly proportional to the product of the masses. So we can write it as F proportional to m1 into m2. And inversely proportional, the same force inversely proportional to the square of the distance. So we can write it as force proportional to 1 by r square. So by combining the above two expression, we get for F proportional to m1 m2 by r square. When we remove the proportionality symbol in physics, we introduce a constant. So we can write it as Fg is equal to G m1 m2 by r square. What is G? G is universal gravitational constant. m1, m2 are the masses of two objects. Fg is the gravitational force and r is the separation between the objects. This is an important question in this lesson. What is the value of G here? G is the universal gravitational constant, whose value is 6.674 into 10 to the power minus 11 Newton meter square per kilogram square. Acceleration due to gravity. What is meant by acceleration due to gravity? Galileo was the first to make a systematic study of the motion of the body under the gravity of the earth. When an object is thrown upwards, its velocity decreases and becomes zero at a particular height. Then it falls down due to gravitational force of the earth. Look at the diagram. Look at the diagram. A boy is dropping a small stone from a particular height. So when a stone is dropped from a particular height, when the time t is equal to 0 second, the velocity of the stone is 0 meter per second. When time t is equal to 1 second, the velocity v is equal to 9.8 meter per second. When t is equal to 2 seconds, the velocity is equal to v is equal to 19.6 meter per second. When time t is equal to 3 seconds, velocity v is equal to 29.4 meter per second. So during its journey, the velocity of moving stone increases by each second. The velocity of the object, that is, the velocity of the object keeps changing as it falls down. Do you know why? Do you know why does this happen? Because this change in velocity must be due to the force acting on the object. So there is an increase in velocity for each second due to gravitational force acting on the earth. So this you call it as acceleration due to gravity. You call it as acceleration due to gravity. That is, this means that the velocity of a body during the downward free fall motion varies by 9.8 meter per second for every 1 second. Experiment shows that velocity of a freely falling body under gravity increases at constant rate, that is with constant acceleration. That is, the velocity of a body during the downward free fall motion varies by 9.8 meter per second for every 1 second. So we can say that the acceleration produced in a body on account of the force of gravity is called acceleration due to gravity. It is denoted by g. The value of g is not same at all points on the surface of the earth. What is the value of g? Small letter g always refers acceleration due to gravity. Its value is 9.8 meter per second. It is not same at all points. Now we can relate. Now remember, we have learned 2g, that is small letter g and a capital G. We can relate both by a derivation. That is, the acceleration produced in the, you know very well that the acceleration produced in the motion of the body falling under the force of gravity is denoted by g. Now we can assume an object. The diagram is not given here, children. Please listen. You can assume an object whose mass is m. You can assume a small object whose mass is small letter m, which is placed on the surface of the earth. The mass of the earth, you can take it as capital M, and the radius of the earth, you can take it as capital R. Now these two objects are very closer and the distance between them is given as capital R. So by Newton's gravitational law, we can write this. The force of gravitational attraction on a body of mass m due to earth of mass is given by F is equal to gmm by r square. See the first equation, children. Are you all listening? F is equal to g small letter m by r square. What is g? Universal gravitational constant. What is small letter m? Small letter m is the mass of the object. Capital M is the mass of the earth. R is the radius of the earth. Now you know very well that from Newton's second law of motion, the force is the product of mass and acceleration. So we can write it as F is equal to ma. This is the second equation. First equation is already I have said. Second equation, F is equal to ma, but the acceleration due to gravity is represented by the symbol g here. Therefore, a is equal to g. If we take a is equal to g, then the second equation becomes F is equal to mg. Now F is equal to mg is the third equation. Now we can take F is equal to gmm by r square and F is equal to mg. Both are representing force. So we can equate both the forces. We can write it as mg is equal to gmm by r square. Cancel m on both the sides. We can cancel m on small letter m on both the sides. So we can get it at g is equal to gm by r square. When the body is at a distance r from the center of the earth, then we can write it as G is equal to Gm by R plus R. So by this way we can relate both G and G, small letter G and capital G. Small letter G is acceleration due to gravity, capital G is gravitational constant, universal gravitational constant. Now with the help of this equation G is equal to Gm by R square, we can easily find out the mass of the earth. How will you determine the mass of the earth? Finding the mass of the earth. You can see two diagrams now. See the first diagram. Do you understand this first diagram? This first diagram tells about the universal law of gravitation. That is, a small object whose mass is m, a bigger object whose mass is capital M, and they are separated by a distance r, and their force of attraction is given as F is equal to Gmm by R squared. Now look at the second diagram. As we said earlier, there is a small object whose mass is m is placed on the surface of the earth. So when we take the earth, we must consider the mass of the earth and radius of the earth. Here inside that you can see ME. ME is nothing but the mass of the earth, and RE is nothing but the radius of the earth. So we can say that F is equal to, already we have derived this relation, F is equal to Gmem by Re square, which is equal to mg. If you cancel m on both sides, we get G is equal to Gme by Re square. So when you rearrange again, you get Me is equal to Gre square by G. Me is nothing but mass of the earth, which is equal to G. G, small letter G, is acceleration due to gravity, whose value is 9.8 meter per second, and Re is the radius of the earth, whose value is 6371 into 10 to the power 3 meter. You can also write it as 6371 kilometer, and G is universal gravitational constant, whose value is 6.674 into 10 to the power minus 11 Newton meter square per kilogram square. So if you substitute all the values and calculate it, you get the mass of the earth as 5.977 into 10 to the power 24 kilogram. If you round it off, you get 6 into 10 to the power 24 kilogram. So the mass of the earth is calculated as 6 into 10 to the power 24 kilogram. Variation of acceleration due to gravity. Now the acceleration due to gravity varies from place to place. Acceleration due to gravity varies from place to place. You can see a picture here. What is this picture? This is nothing but earth. Our earth is not a perfect sphere, children. Our earth is not a perfect sphere. It is an ellipsoid. It is an ellipsoid. It is shown in the figure. It is flattened at the poles and bulged at the equator. It is flattened at the poles and bulged at the equator. And here it is given as Rp and Re. What is Rp? Rp is the radius of the earth in polar region, and Re is the radius of the earth in equatorial region. We know very well that G is equal to Gm by R squared. Small letter G is equal to Gm by R squared. That is, G is inversely proportional to R square. What is G? Acceleration due to gravity. What is R? Geometric radius. Geometric radius of the earth. R is the geometric radius of the earth. So since both are inversely proportional to each other, G and R, G is the acceleration due to gravity, R is the geometric radius of the earth. When one value is maximum, the other will be minimum. When G is minimum, R will be maximum. So that we can say it as, since the geometric radius of the earth is maximum in equatorial region and a minimum in polar region, then the value of G is maximum in polar region and a minimum at the equatorial region. So when we move to a greater height from the surface of the earth, the value of G reduces. When you move deep below the surface of the earth, the value of G also reduces. Then what will be the value of G at the center of the earth? The value of acceleration due to gravity is 0 at the center of the earth. So we have learnt about G and G. We can compare both now. there is a difference between G and G. These are the differences between capital G and a small letter g. Small letter G is acceleration due to gravity. Capital G is universal gravitational constant. So acceleration due to gravity is nothing but an acceleration produced on a freely falling body due to the gravitational force of Earth, which is known as acceleration due to gravity. Universal gravitational constant is numerically equal to the force of gravitation that exists between two bodies of unit mass kept at a unit distance from each other. Unit mass kept at a unit distance means when mass is 1 kilogram and the distance is 1 meter, then that force of gravitation that exists between two bodies of unit mass kept at a unit distance from each other will be equal to the gravitational constant. Second point, value of G near Earth's surface is 9.8 meter per second square. It may vary from place to place. That is, acceleration due to gravity varies from place to place. It is not constant everywhere. It will not be the same at all points. It varies from the equator than at the poles. So like that. Universal gravitational constant, it is the constant value. Its value is given as 6.67 into 10 to the power minus 11 Newton meter square per kilogram square. Acceleration due to gravity depends upon the distance between the masses, but universal gravitational constant is independent of the distance between the masses. Look at the diagram WMG. So there is a close relationship between W is the weight, M is the mass, and G is acceleration due to gravity. There is a relationship between these three factors. That is gravity. Gravity is the force that Earth exerts on you. To learn, before learning gravity, we must know about what do you mean by mass. Mass is the basic property of a body. Mass of a body is defined as the quantity of matter contained in the body. What is the SI unit of mass? The SI unit of mass is kilogram. Gravity is the force the earth exerts on you, and the force of gravity changes with location, but weight of a body is defined as the gravitational force exerted on it due to the earth's gravity alone. So we can write it as weight is equal to mass into gravity. Weight is nothing but the gravitational force. So W is equal to M into G. Yeah, W is equal to weight, M is the mass, and G is the gravity. So the unit of SI unit of weight is Newton, and SI unit of mass is kilogram. SI unit of acceleration due to gravity is meter per second square. Meter per second square. Mass is a scalar quantity, but weight is a vector quantity. Direction of weight is always towards the center of the earth. So the SI unit of weight is Newton. Mass is constant everywhere. Weight varies from place to place. So the value of acceleration due to gravity on the surface of the moon is 1.65 meter per second square. This is about 0.1654 times the acceleration due to gravity of the earth. So what is the value of acceleration due to gravity on the surface of the earth? Surface of the earth is 9.8 meter per second square. On the moon is 1.625 meter per second square. So very important value, student. Please note down. The value of acceleration due to gravity on the surface of the earth is 9.8 meter per second square. On the surface of the moon is 1.625 meter per second square. Supposing, now let us do one problem. Supposing if a person whose mass is 60 kilogram stands on the surface of the earth, his weight would be 588 Newton. I have calculated the answer. You find out the formula and do it by yourself. So what will you do? What is the mass given in this problem? M is equal to 60 kilogram. You already know the value of acceleration due to gravity is 9.8 meter per second square. What is the formula we use here? W is equal to M into G. That is, mass is equal to 60 kilograms. So 60 into 9.8 is equal to 588 Newton. So if the same person who is having the mass of 60 kilogram goes to the surface of the moon, he would weigh only 97.5 Newton. Here what is G used here? the same 9.8 meter per second square? No. That is, the same person goes to the surface of the moon. Now what is the value of oscillation due to gravity on the surface of the moon? It is given as 1.625 meter per second square. Then you use G is equal to 1.625. So if you put it in the formula, you get W is equal to M into G. So 60 into 1.625 is equal to 97.5 Newton. So the weight of a man on the moon reduces by 1 by 6 times the weight of the mass on the earth because of lack of gravity. So the mass of the man remains the same on both earth and the moon. There is no change in mass, but weight varies from place to place. So the weight of the man on the moon reduces by 1 by 6 times than the weight of mass on the earth because of lack of gravity. So we can compare, that is, you have learnt about W is equal to M into G, WmG. Now there is a comparison between mass and weight. Listen children, mass is a property of matter. The mass of an object is the same everywhere. The first point is given as mass is the property of matter. The mass of an object is the same everywhere. There is no change in mass. But weight varies according to location. Weight depends on the effect of gravity. See the second point, mass can never be zero, but weight can be zero. If there is no gravity acts upon an object as in space, there is no gravity in the space, you know very well. So if G is equal to 0, then W is equal to M into 0 is equal to 0 actually. So W will become 0. See the third point, mass does not change according to location, but weight increases or decreases with higher or lower gravity. Fourth point, mass is a scalar quantity, it has magnitude, but weight is a vector quantity, it has magnitude and directed towards the center of the earth. See the last point, mass may be measured using an ordinary balance, but weight is measured using a spring balance. Now this is the new topic for you, apparent weight. What do you mean by apparent weight? You have already discussed about real weight and apparent weight in your previous classes. Real weight is nothing but your normal weight. Apparent weight, what do you mean by apparent weight? It is the weight of the body acquired due to the action of gravity and other external forces acting on the body. Let us see this from the following illustration. Now let us consider a person of mass m who is traveling in lift. Do you understand this diagram children? Actually this is a lift. A small girl is standing inside the lift. There are four cases. The lift is at rest. First diagram is the lift is at rest. Second diagram is the lift is moving upwards with an acceleration. The third diagram is the lift is coming down with an acceleration. The fourth case is a special case. Lift is falling down freely. So there are four special cases. So when a person, let us consider a person of mass m who is traveling in a lift, the actual weight of the person is W is equal to mg. So there are two forces acting on the girl now. The girl exerts a force W on the lift and the lift is exerting a opposite force R on the girl. So by Newton's third law of motion, you have already learnt for every action there is an equal and opposite reaction. Okay, so a girl exerts a force on the lift, that is W, which is acting vertically downwards. The lift experiences an same equal opposite force on the girl, that is reaction. That is reaction, which is referred as R. That is the apparent weight. Here W is the normal weight, R is the apparent weight. So the reaction force exerted by the lift surface R is taken as apparent weight, which is acting vertically upwards. Supposing, imagine you are standing on the lift. You exert a force on the surface of the lift. That is acting vertically downwards, that is W. But a lift exerts an opposite force on you, that is acting vertically upwards, that is taken as R. That is taken as R. Now let us see different possibilities of the apparent weight R of the person that arise. Now look at the diagram. A girl or a person is standing inside the lift. Mass of a person is m. Now see the first diagram. The lift is at rest. Lift is at rest. Here A is equal to 0. How A is equal to 0? When the lift is at rest, it is not in motion. There is no velocity. When there is no velocity, the acceleration is equal to 0. So in this case, the girl experiences normal weight. The girl experiences normal weight. The second diagram is the lift is moving upwards with an acceleration A. Here apparent weight is greater than the normal weight. Apparent weight R is greater than W. Apparent weight is greater than the actual or normal weight. Third diagram is lift is moving downwards with an acceleration A. Here which is bigger, which is smaller, which force is bigger, which force is smaller. Here apparent weight is lesser than the actual weight. Which is apparent weight? R is the apparent weight. W is the normal weight. Apparent weight is lesser than the normal weight. Fourth one is a special case. Lift is falling down freely. So when the lift is falling down freely, A is equal to G. This is the condition. For this you call it as free fall condition. Free fall condition. What is the condition for free falling objects? A is equal to G. A is the acceleration produced by the lift. G is acceleration due to gravity. When A is equal to G, R becomes 0. Apparent weight is equal to 0. You can understand if you look at this table. There is a table given to understand more about this apparent weight. See the table. You have 4 cases. See case 1. Lift is moving upward with an acceleration A. Lift is moving upward with an acceleration A. Here R minus W is equal to MA. So we can write it as R is equal to W plus MA. What is R? R is the apparent weight. The formula is given as R is equal to W plus MA. We have already know that W is equal to mg. W is the force which is acting vertically downwards, but R is the force which is acting vertically upwards. So we can write it as R is equal to mg plus ma. If you take m as a common factor, we can write it as R is equal to m into g plus a. Here R is greater than W, that is apparent weight is greater than the actual weight. R is greater than W. See the second case, lift is moving downward with an acceleration A. Here the formula is given as W minus R is equal to the net force. F net means that is the net force which is equal to MA. Here, so we from that first step we can write it as R is equal to W minus MA. R is equal to W minus R is equal to MA. Therefore, R is equal to W minus MA. So, R is substitute W is equal to mg. Then we can write it as R is equal to mg minus MA. Take m as a common factor. R is equal to m into g minus a. Here in this condition, in this case, R, apparent weight R is lesser than the actual weight. Apparent weight is lesser than the actual weight. See case 3, when the lift is at rest, acceleration is 0. Already we have discussed. When there is no velocity, when velocity is 0, acceleration is equal to 0. R is equal to W. So we can write R is equal to mg. In this case, apparent weight is equal to the actual weight. Fourth case is a special case. Lift is falling freely. Here the acceleration due to gravity is equal to, acceleration is equal to g. When A is equal to g, take the equation from the second case, that is R is equal to m into g minus a. In that equation, put A is equal to g. In the second equation, see the second case, what is the formula given? Because the lift is falling freely down, it is coming down. So we have taken that equation, R is equal to m into g minus a. In that equation, substitute A is equal to g. we get r is equal to m into g minus g, that is r is equal to 0. Apparent weight is equal to 0 in this case. This is an important question in this lesson. So we can learn the free fall condition. What is the free fall condition? When the person in a lift moves down with an acceleration equal to the acceleration due to gravity when a is equal to g, this motion is called as free fall. Here the apparent weight r is equal to 0. Apparent weight r is equal to 0, that is, we can say that apparent weight of the person is 0. This condition refers to the state of weightlessness. So free fall, condition for free fall is a is equal to 0, so that r is equal, a is equal to g. When a is equal to g, r becomes 0. This is the condition for free fall. Free fall is the motion of body when only the force due to gravity is acting on the body. The acceleration on an object in free fall is called the acceleration due to gravity or free fall acceleration. Free fall acceleration is denoted with the symbol ag or g. Why astronauts feel weightless? What do you mean by weightlessness? Can you guess anything? Why astronauts feel weightless? Some of us believe that the astronauts in the orbiting space station do not experience any gravitational force of the earth, so they float, but this is absolutely wrong. Then what is meant by weightlessness? What is meant by weightlessness then? Whenever a body or a person falls freely under the action of Earth's gravitational force alone, it appears to have zero weight. This state is referred as weightlessness. I repeat, whenever a body or a person falls freely under the action of Earth's gravitational force alone, it appears to have zero weight. This state is referred to as weightlessness. What diagram is this, children? Have you gone to an amusement park and taken a ride in a roller coaster or in a giant wheel? You know what is giant wheel? You would have seen in an exhibition. Roller coaster, giant wheel. During the fast downward and upward movement, when they go up and down, during the fast downward and upward movement, how did you feel, children? It's amazing. You actually feel as if you are falling freely without having any weight. This is due to the phenomenon of weightlessness. You seem to have lost your weight when you move down with a certain acceleration. Sometimes you experience the same feeling while traveling in a lift. See this. What do you guess from this, children? What picture is this? Can you see a space station here? This is the cabin of a space station. You may see the images of astronauts in the cabin of space station. This explains about the weightlessness of the astronauts in the space station. Astronauts, are they floating? Are the astronauts actually floating? No, the astronauts are not floating but falling freely around the earth due to their huge orbital velocity. Since space station and astronauts have the equal acceleration, space station and astronauts have equal acceleration, they are under free fall condition. What is the condition for free fall? When a is equal to g, r becomes 0. A is the acceleration produced by a lift. In the lift problem, what we have seen for free fall condition, a is equal to g. A is the acceleration produced by the lift, g is acceleration due to gravity. When a is equal to g, r becomes 0. So likewise, space station and astronauts have equal acceleration. They are under free fall condition, that is apparent weight r is equal to 0. So hence both astronaut and the space station are in the same state of weightlessness. See children, see this picture. Nowadays an aircraft with named zero gravity provides weightlessness environment for training astronauts. The zero gravity aircraft provides weightlessness or environment for training astronauts. This is a specially designed aircraft. travels in a path of parabola. This aircraft is used to train astronauts in weightlessness. It gives 25 seconds of weightlessness out of 65 seconds of flight in each parabola. It gives 25 seconds of weightlessness out of 65 seconds of flight in each parabola. The cost of one seat on a weightlessness flight to cover 15 parabolic curves in a own file X, composed of 15 parabolas. Each parabolic flight produces the same weightlessness as astronauts experience in space. Not all of us can become an astronaut and fly to space. This is an amazing opportunity to experience true weightlessness. You would have already known about spacewalk, spacefly, like that. So this is an amazing opportunity to experience true weightlessness in a zero gravity aircraft. So this adventurous experience is called zero G, and you can float in the air and experience total weightlessness. You can feel 6.25 minute weightlessness in this trip. You can feel 6.25 minutes weightlessness in this trip. Okay children, we have come to the end of the lesson. So we have learnt about gravitation, Newton's universal law of gravitation. There are some applications of Newton's law of gravitation. There are 5 points given. What is the first point given here? Dimensions of the heavenly bodies can be measured using the gravitational law. You know what do you mean by heavenly bodies? Astronauts, comets, stars, planets. So dimensions of the heavenly bodies can be measured using the gravitational law. It helps in discovering new stars and planets. Helps in discovering new stars and planets. And the mass of the star can also be calculated using by this law. We have calculated the mass of the earth. So in the same way, by using this law, we also can calculate the mass of the star. It helps to explain germination of roots is due to the property of geotropism, which is the property of the root responding to the gravity. It also helps to predict the path of the astronomical bodies. This universal gravitational law also helps to predict the path of the astronomical bodies. So we have completed one lesson. There is a worksheet. Do the worksheet and give your response. Thank you children for listening the class. Do well.